Right. I went to his character thingy. I do this. Oh, not Eok. Eok. Look, it's changed to who he actually is, so that's interesting. Oh, we get a CG on 10. Alright. Aiden shuffles his feet as he enters the room. Cute. It fits him perfectly. The stereotypical black and white maid outfit with lots of frills looks rather decent on him. He's got the body type for it. It's obvious what he thinks about it. He's blushing and trying to hide behind my work table. I wore it, he mumbles, though I'm not sure why I have to. Then, maybe you'll get to feel even an ounce of the humiliation that I felt when I found out you'd been lying to me, I answer in a deadpan voice. That seems to shut him up. Fair enough, he hiccups. I get closer to him, circling around him like a vulture. I fluff up the skirt and fix the shoulders a bit. There, I say with a satisfied smile. You look really cute. Aiden's mouth drops open. His face turns a shade redder. Cute, he replies in a tiny voice. I don't know whether to take it as a compliment or not, he says, rubbing his arms awkwardly. I'm being truthful, I say with a shrug. You've got the body for it, to wear these kinds of costumes, I answer honestly. To be fair, you'd be a great cosplayer. Haha, that would never happen. Why not? Seriously? Do you not see my face? He asks almost incredulously. You know who looks similar to you? I say, putting a finger to my lips. Ruko. You could totally pass off that area as a scar. Aiden bites down on his bottom lip, then averts his eyes. Yeah, well, he has a scar. I have a condition. It's different, he mutters. Fair enough. I still think you could make a great Ruko, I reply. So, where do I start? Aiden sheepishly asks, changing the subject. Dust everything and wipe it with a damp cloth, then vacuum clean the floors, after which you'll mop them too. I start listing off. I hand him a duster and small cleaning cloth with a smile. Here you go, I say excitedly. Right, should I start in this room first? I'll be working here for now. Start with the boutique first, so you're not in my way. Understood. Oh, I forgot. But a client is dropping by in an hour or so. Can you come get me when they're here? Aiden clutches the duster close to his body, looking wary. He resembles... He looks a bit like a scared squirrel, hogging its resources. What do you mean, a client? You're open for today? Are people gonna see me like this? I mean, is it that strange to see someone cosplaying in a cosplay store? I say, stifling my chuckle. I guess you have a point there, he admits. But don't worry, it's just one client coming to pick something up on the weekend. She'll be gone before you know it. Do I say something? Like... He stands up straight and pushes out his chest, saluting at me like a trained soldier. Hello, welcome to the Great Olympus. Or maybe... He takes a polite bow in front of me. Welcome back, master. I exhale my laughter through my nose and quickly look away. Alright, that was cute. I chew on my thumb. Damn, he's not supposed to be cute. You're not an employee, just come get me, alright? I say, waving my hand at him. I will do my best, he exclaims excitedly. Can you look a little less enthusiastic about this? I ask. He's too cheerful about something that's supposed to be a form of punishment. Who knew he'd be so giddy about getting to wear a maid costume? Aiden reels in his big grin, then turns it into a forced frown. How's this? You know what? Just do your work, I sigh. Alright, I'll do the boutique first. And finally, ready with the cleaning supplies in his hands, he leaves the workroom. I shake my head to get myself back into the game. I need to do actual work on my costume. Time to cut out those patterns and get the groundwork done. I stand up straight and crack my neck, rubbing my stiff shoulders. I didn't realize how many parts it ended up being. The outfit might look simple, but there's a lot of different materials and different types of patterns it uses. I look down at my sketchbook at the original design. Flowy fabric in various shades of white and cerulean. It's gonna look amazing. It would look even more amazing if it was a couple cosplay. I pick up a pencil and start sketching another model. Neri ends up with Ruko in the end. He was mostly seen wearing blacks and red, a stark contrast to Neri's whites and blues. The two couldn't be more opposite. Ruko was not as muscular or tall as his older brother, probably why he wasn't a popular character in the first place, but his fashion design was always on point. I sketch out the robe he would wear near the end of the show. Alright, who is Neri in The Last Airbender? Well, this isn't her. I could only find someone called Cory. She's a Fire Nation. She has a love interest called Sneers. Okay. She's not in the show either, so. I don't know who she's supposed to be. It's not coming up with anything. Even though Aiden is technically taller than Ruko, it would still suit him very well. He's lanky, and with some nice hairstyling and proper fitting clothes, he could make a great Ruko. The door opens and Aiden walks inside, disturbing me from my thoughts. I finished the boutique, I just have to mop it, but I figured I'd dust in here before I go do that. Is that alright? I look up from my sketchbook, setting my pencil aside. Let me just clean up this mess first, I say, looking at the patterns scattered across the floor. Aiden sets down his supplies and bends down to help me with it. I have no idea what this is for, he says as he picks up a long strip of paper. Careful, they're like blueprints to make my costumes, I warn him. This kind of paper is very fragile and can easily tear. I don't want to redo the patterns after finally measuring them and cutting them out. Blueprints, I see. I guess you can't just start cutting into fabric without knowing what to cut, Aiden muses out loud. Together we clean up the floor and store away the patterns. Oh hey, isn't that Neri and Ruko? Aiden is scanning over my sketchbook. I flip the sketchbook closed, suddenly feeling like he's breaching some sort of privacy. Are you doing Ruko as well? He asks, clearly not getting the hint that I didn't want him to see my sketches. I mean, who's gonna cosplay it? I ask in return. I don't know. Aren't you going to the con with your friends? Aren't they cosplaying? I pout my lips. I know Lexi is keeping hers a surprise, but I haven't heard anything from Sinner or Mera about cosplaying. I don't think so? I sound unsure. Oh, no Ruko then, he says a bit awkwardly. You could still make a good Ruko, I say, grinning slyly. He rubs the back of his head with a sheepish smile. Not gonna happen. Well, go vacuum the floor. I'll be doing some more work. Right, will do. Aiden scurries off to get the vacuum cleaner and returns in high spirits. Sorry for bothering you, he says as he turns it on. I honestly don't mind the noise. I can tune it out as I start cutting away at some of the fabric. Eventually, Aiden is done with the floor and he goes back into the boutique to start mopping everything. My stomach starts gurgling. It's about lunchtime. That client still hasn't appeared. I wonder what's taking her so long. Hey, that client you were talking about before is here. I heard the chimes, says Aiden, suddenly popping up into my workroom. Oh, finally. I nearly slip on the wet floor and Aiden scrambles to stabilize me from behind. Watch your step, it's wet. Duly noted, I gripe, brushing him off. Hi, Valkii. A bubbly woman approaches me. She's one of my regulars. Hey, Gem, I've got your costume right here, I say, picking up the bag on the counter. She squeals in delight when she takes it from me. I'm so excited. Can't wait to wear this at CleanerCon. Then she notices Aiden, who has resumed mopping the floor, trying to be inconspicuous about it. That's new. Totally cool you've got your employees wearing maid costumes. He's not my... Guys can look totally cute in maid outfits, she says with a wink. Aiden stiffens at the conversation and turns his back towards us. Well, I hope you have a nice weekend, Gem, I say politely. You too, she says cheerfully as she moves towards the entrance. Keep up the hard work, she encourages Aiden as she passes him by. Bye, he says awkwardly, half-heartedly raising up his hand to wave at her. I try my best to hide my grin. She called you cute, I say. Aiden slumps the side of his face against the pole of the mop with a sigh. I'm starting to think everyone has a maid fetish or something. I shrug. A lot of people enjoy the outfit. I guess they enjoy the role-playing aspect of it. Someone serving you? Are you enjoying it? He asks, looking at me. Enjoying what? The outfit? Being served. I press my mouth into a thin line. I don't know how to answer that. The maid outfit idea was funny to me at the time, especially since I was going to make him clean. I didn't really have any other ulterior motives. Wasn't it your idea? I ask instead. Oh, you're right, he says like he forgot. I guess that means I should be asking if I like to serve. The corners of my lips tilt upwards. Do you like to serve? He grips them up tighter in his hands, giving me this contemplating look. Just for you, he mumbles quietly as he gets back to mopping the floor. No, my heart did not just clench up at that. Focus, Valkii. Aiden is here because he lied to you. You're mad at him, remember? I'm gonna get us some lunch, I tell him. I'll be back in half an hour to an hour. You're getting me lunch? He sounds rather surprised. Aren't you hungry? Starving. Then don't question it. Any allergies or other diet restrictions I need to know of? Not at all. I can eat anything. I'll get us some sandwiches then. Don't burn down the shop. I caution him. How does one burn down a building with a bucket of water? Seems rather hard. I don't doubt you'll find a way to do it. Don't worry, I'll use extra water, he reassures me. Just keep an eye on the shop, okay? There'll be no more clients, so don't let anyone inside. No problem. Leave it all to me. He then salutes me like a soldier again. I shake my head at him and leave the boutique. Finally, I've returned home. I lock the door behind me as I enter the hallway, smelling citrus in the air. It seems Aiden's cleaned the hallway already since I've been gone. As I turn around to walk, my foot loses traction on the very, very wet floor and I slide. My legs nearly make a split and the bags in my hand go flying. I yelp out loud as I catch myself against the wall and the contents of the lunch I bought is spilled onto the floor. I prop myself up, hoping to keep steady. Aiden! I yell. The door across me flies open and out walks Aiden, mop in hand. What? He asks, confused. He slips as well, sliding forwards with his arms flailing around. Unlike me, however, he manages to stay upright. Whoa, that's slippery, he observes. I give him a pointed look, still clutching the wall. He finally notices the lunch sprawled across the floor and he grimaces. You think? I shake my head. Who told you to drench the floor in this much water? He holds the mop closely to his body, his lips pressed into a nervous thin line. I wanted the floors to be sparkly, he explains. Sorry. Come help me clean this up. I dropped our lunch, I say with a sigh. We both pick up the contents from the floor, moving slowly and carefully as not to trip. Thankfully, most of it stayed inside of the box, but it's all scrambled. Once everything is picked up, Aiden quickly mops the floor again, and makes sure he doesn't use as much water as before. This just made me hungrier. Finally, we can eat. Enjoy the salad, I say. Salad? I thought you brought sandwiches, says Aiden. When he notices that the contents of the sandwiches had mixed inside of the box, he realizes what I mean. Oh, he breathes out. The taste is still okay. I point my fork at him. I appreciate your optimism, but I'm still a little peeved about slipping just now. Aiden apologetically squeezes his eyes shut. Really, I'm sorry. I'll mop the entire building for you. No, I immediately reply, thinking of the horrors. I think you're done with mopping, I say with a sigh. Just eat your lunch. I'm starving now. I lean against my work desk as I prick my fork into the many scrambled ingredients. It could have been worse. The sandwiches could have been unpackaged and actually fell onto the floor. Even if it's been recently cleaned, I'm not going to eat food from the floor. My eyes glance around the room to see how much Aiden managed to accomplish after I left. Most things are tidied and tucked away in a corner. The floor is clean and even the shelves have been dusted. He actually did a decent job. That's when I see the cables underneath my desk. Did you organize my cables? I say, pointing it out. Now that's sexy. The messy cables behind my monitor and computer have now all been untangled and tied together. Aiden swallows his food and looks over his shoulder. Yeah, removing the dust behind those cables was annoying, so I tied them all together. Should be easier to clean beneath your desk now. It's not something I expected, so I can't help but feel a little grateful. Thank you, I tell him. No problem, he says with a shy smile, brushing his hair behind his ear. For a moment, my feelings are slightly swayed. His bashful demeanor, coupled with the fact he's wearing a maid outfit, exudes a certain charm. It also reminds me of the time when he said he wanted to be praised by me. I stuff a slice of tomato in my mouth, tearing my eyes away from him. I don't like all these moments where I think he's being cute today. He's here for repentance. I also found this behind your desk, he says, and pulls something from his apron. He dangles a small keychain in front of me. It's a chibi figure from one of my favorite games. My mouth drops open. So that's where it was, I exclaim and snatch it from his hands. My poor baby, left alone in the dust all this time. I lovingly rub the chibi figure against my cheek. Where's the character from? Aiden asks, curious. I place the keychain down on the desk. He's from this otome game called Bakuaki. So Hakuaki. He's a samurai. That's a visual novel, right? Wait. Alright. Where were we? Oh yeah, I accidentally went down too much. That's a visual novel, right? I nod at him. It's one of the more popular ones. I feel more seen now that she's an otome fan. Well, samurai are cool. I can see why. I can't help but crack a smile. I don't really care. I just thought the character was sweet. Most of the characters you romance are very cold towards you, but not this guy. Oh, Heisuke. Heisuke was very nice towards you. Hichikata, cold. Okita, mean as fuck, but people love him for some reason. Saito, very cold. He's a very stoic character. Who else can you romance? Sanosuke? He was nice as well, I think. But Heisuke was like, he was just nice to you right away. He's like the golden retriever. He's the AIDEN of the game, I guess. Kind of. He's like younger. I think he's younger than the rest. Kazuma is cold. He's basically a villain. But he has an incredible Seiyu. So, can you romance Shinpachi? I think you can in... They opened up a load of other characters that you could romance in this one, but I don't think you could romance Shinpachi in the original. I don't think so. You can romance Sanan in this one. There's someone, I don't remember his name, but in this one, I think, is he on the front? I think so. I don't remember. Miyano Mamoru voiced someone in it, and I love him to death. I wish he'd do more Otome games. I poked the chibi's head with my finger. He was one of the lower ranks and wasn't anything special compared to the rest of the cast, but he took care of you and made sure you had everything you needed. It's Heisuke, yeah. And he was the only one that got super shy, I say with a chuckle. I like it when they get flustered. Me too, but my thing also is, I like it when any man gets flustered. Well, apart from really mean men, I don't really care about that. But like, when a really stoic man gets flustered... Aiden remains silent, prodding his food with his eyes cast downwards. Then he raises his head and his bright eyes make contact with mine. My chest tightens as a warm feeling rushes through me. Swiftly, he looks away and coughs a bit to dislodge some food in his throat. You don't see that type a lot, he says, his voice a little high. Not for male characters, anyway. Yes, they are quite rare, I agree. Unless we're going to count yaoi media, then there's an abundance of them. So true. Oh my god, there was this really good... BL that I started reading. Kill Me If You Can. Fuck, what was it called? I bookmarked it. Not here. It would be in here. I know I'm going on so many tangents, but this route in particular speaks to me. Kill Me If You Can. It is so incredibly good. It'll have some of the tropes that you would unfortunately associate with BL or yaoi, but it's not major at all. And the main couple is chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Oh my god, I've never loved a couple more. Like, I've never loved a couple more. They're so endearing, and the comedy in the BL is so good. Like, there'll be funny little chibis drawn. It's just so good. I recommend it. If you like BL, I recommend it 100%. In games, I've always... It's about, like, doppelgangers. So, someone will be a really evil person on Earth, and, like, a devil will make a copy of them, and then that copy has to go kill, the person they're a doppelganger of, and then take their place and become like a better person, I guess. To me, that doesn't totally make. And I'm gonna say right now, there's a lot of like, I wouldn't say Deus Ex Machina, but I don't know, storylines of convenience, I guess, or like explanations of convenience. Kind of, you kind of have to just ignore that, because the main couple are so good, and the concept itself is really great. There's like a whole mystery around who one of the main characters is, and it's great. It's great. You won't regret it. In games, I've always gravitated towards these type of characters. I never was one to fangirl over the most popular male characters who were too aggressive and belittling for my taste. Oh my god, same! Girl, same. Any main character who is... I usually... I wouldn't say I like the ones who are not popular, because I think Toma from Amnesia is the most popular Amnesia character in Japan, at least. I don't think that's the case outside of Japan, but Toma wasn't too aggressive or belittling. He was... I'm not going to get into it, okay? But I typically don't like the front-facing male, like the mascot character. Like, that will be the biggest... person on there. I typically don't like them the best. And I definitely don't like the ones that are mean. Like one of the ones in Color X Malice, I can't remember his name, but yeah. I guess it's also why I immediately clicked with AIDEN online. I get along with many people, but my urge to tease and flirt bubbles up to the surface whenever I meet someone that gets flustered around my actions. Which is why I'm all the more disappointed to find out he lied to me. That's hentai, right? AIDEN points out, referring to the term yaoi. Guys having sex, a genre aimed at women. It's kind of funny in a way, isn't it? I guess it's similar in a way that lesbian porn is aimed at men, he says with a shrug. No! No! Girl, if you say yes, then I'm gonna be disappointed. Hentai and porn are not the same thing. Okay? It's not the same thing. Wanting to change the subject away from porn, my eyes scan over his dress. How's the maid outfit so far? I ask. AIDEN pulls away the collar from his neck to adjust it, but he does it with a pleased expression. Not that bad. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to wear. Good. I made it after all, I say with a proud grin. You're very talented, he compliments me. I'm just lucky he's skinny and could easily fit inside of it. AIDEN looks back down at his food again, and we continue eating in silence. That is, until he makes a small noise, his eyes widening in response to something. Your leg, he says in an alarmed tone, looking down at me. What's with my leg? I ask, looking down as well. That's when I notice the ladder that's torn its way into my stockings. No, I cry out loud as I hike up my skirt to see how far the ladder goes. Not knowing where to look, AIDEN awkwardly turns his face away as I lift up my skirt. It goes all the way from my thigh down to my ankle. Damn it, I just bought this pair. Now it's already ruined. That's why you buy multiple. You don't just buy one at a time. That's amateur hour. It must have happened when I slipped in the hallway just now, I groan. AIDEN slumps his shoulders. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I throw my fork down and walk away from the work desk, moving towards my closet. I open up one of the drawers and dig through a bunch of fabric, tights, leggings, pantyhose, etc. I fish out a pair of stockings that are old but still hold up. AIDEN's been watching me this entire time, and when I stand in front of him, holding the stockings up, he tilts his head to the side. Since you agree it's your fault, then you should put on this new pair for me. Slightly confused, AIDEN stares at me with a blank expression. I step out of my flats and offer the leg with the torn stockings to him. Didn't you say so earlier? You like to... I lean my face closer to him. Sir? It takes him a second as a light bulb turns on in his mind. Right, of course, straight away, he says as he grabs the other stockings from my hand. Sit, I tell him, not wanting to lift my foot up. AIDEN swallows as he lowers himself down, fanning out the skirt so that he doesn't sit on it. I lean against the work table and nudge my foot towards him. Both of them? He asks, genuinely unsure. Of course, otherwise they don't match, I say with a shrug. AIDEN hesitantly reaches for my outstretched leg. Noticing my skirt is in the way, I lift it up so he can reach the hemline wrapped around my thighs. AIDEN's eyes are focused on my thigh, suddenly halting his movement. I can see how he nervously glances up at me, then back down again. It's like he's too afraid to touch me. Well, I urge him, take it off. Yes, he gulps. His fingers are shaking as they finally touch my skin, wedging them underneath the stockings until he's got a good grip on it. Then he slowly pulls it down, dragging it across my leg. The torn stocking is completely removed, and I stretch out my hand. Give it to me. AIDEN wordlessly hands me the ruined stocking, and I place it on the counter. Good. Now the other one, I say as I lift up my other leg. This time he works faster, sliding the stocking down my leg until it's off as well. I feel a little bit more exposed now that he's sitting down there, looking up at my bare legs. Pretty sure from that angle he can see my panties. Better not be looking at my skirt, I warn him. AIDEN's face flushes and he bends his head down. No, of course not, he agrees, presenting the other stocking for me to take off his hands. Now put on my stockings for me, I say as I throw the other one on the counter as well. Aiden struggles to bunch one of the stockings together so that he can fit it over my foot. I hold it out for him, steadying myself against the table. With both hands, he manages to wrap it over my toes and slide my foot inside. The hard part is finished. That's it. Now pull it up. Aiden's fingers tremble slightly as he tries to hike up the stockings across my leg. I give him some counterweight, as it's quite hard to keep steady like this. It feels a little sensual like this, and I have a hard time keeping a straight face as well. But eventually, he manages to reach my thigh and lets it go, snapping it in place. He lets out a visible breath of relief. I place my hand on top of his head, feeling him tense up in response. I lightly tap it a couple of times. If this is your first time, you didn't do bad at all, I admit. Aiden's face flushes once more and he lets out a squeak, as if he can't say anything coherent anymore. I ruffle his hair a little. It's quite silky and smooth. Seeing him only get redder in response, I enjoy tormenting him like this. It's my first time, he says quietly. I lift up my other leg again and Aiden starts preparing the stocking. As he grabs my foot, he pulls it towards me and starts to wrap the stocking around it. With more confidence this time, he hikes up my leg. Actually, that's a little bit too confident because Aiden pulls on the stocking so much that I lose my balance and tilt forward. Watch it, I yelp. I manage to catch myself in time, my foot landing in his lap, making him let go of the stocking and having it snap in place. Aiden lets out a strange gulp and his entire body stiffens up. I compose myself and am about to retrieve my foot until I realize there's a hard lump under that maid outfit. My mouth drops open. That's his... Aiden bites down on his bottom lip as he tries his best to avoid making eye contact with me, his hand wrapped around my ankle. Are you turned on right now? I accuse him. Dun dun dun. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.